So, how did you get on with the challenges? If you solved them both, then congratulations, great job. If you didn't quite manage to find the solutions, then not to worry, we're going to walk through them together now. And the trick to being successful is to keep moving forward, learning new things, and apply what you learned next time. First, let's dive into the Ebola vulnerability. So here, I've just logged in as a normal user and I've added the vehicle, and I think I pointed you guys in the direction of contact mechanics. So this is the endpoint that we're going to look at. So first of all, I'm just going to make sure my proxy is switched on, and then I'm going to hit contact mechanic, and I'm just going to choose one randomly and put in some test data. Now, I always put something in that I can easily recognize, so that in the requests I can see exactly what's happening, but you can put anything in here that you want. So I just click send service request and we get this pop-up back, and we click OK and it brings us back to the main page. So let's switch over to Burp Suite and take a look, and I'm just going to clear out the Google API calls just to make our UI a little bit easier to see. And what I want to look at is this. So this request looks interesting, to say the least. And I'm just going to move myself out of the way. There we go. And what we can see here is when we make the request, we have the mechanic API, and this goes to HTTP localhost 8888 workshop API mechanic receive reports. Now, whenever I see this, I always think, maybe server-side request forgery. But we're going to do a module on that later on, so we'll test out that vulnerability then. Next up, I'm looking at the response, and what I can see is I can see a report link. Now, this wasn't reflected back to us in the UI, but it does indeed seem to exist. So I'm just going to copy this, and then I'm just going to paste this in here, and we can see this goes to API mechanic reports, and it passes an ID which is equal to 6. And we can see the request, so we can see my information that I signed up with, so my email, my number, the problem data that I put in, and obviously, interestingly, we can see that we're passing an ID. So let's test this for Ebola. Let's just change this to 5. Haha, success. And that's it. We managed to exploit this vulnerability. We can actually see Adam007 at example.com, and we can maybe see other reports as well. Looks like test at example.com. So this is broken object level authorization, and this API endpoint is kind of hidden. You don't really see it. At least I didn't see it in the user interface. So we had to inspect the traffic with Burp Suite, find out what's going on, and then check the request and response. So that's the Ebola challenge complete. Now, we discovered a hidden endpoint and our Ebola tests were successful. If this was a live application, that would be a really great finding. Next up, we have the Baffler challenge. So let's do this one in Postman. I have my user here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload a video to the dashboard. So I'm just going to quickly come into Burp Suite, clear history, and then and it instantly refills, and then come back. And I'm going to come to, if we hover over these 3 dots, if I move my face out of the way, if we hover over these 3 dots, we see this upload video functionality, which can be a little tricky to click on. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come into my crappy installation, come to Postman collections, and upload car.mp4, and we get a successful video upload, which is what we want. So now what we're going to do is we're going to come over to Burp Suite. We're going to have a quick look at this, and we're just going to have a look at the ID. So this is ID 36. So we want to note this down for later, because this is the video we're going to try and delete. So if we come over to Postman, I'm just going to sign up a new account. So hit sign up. We're successfully registered. Hit login. And then we can verify our token just for completeness. And we're good to go. So if I come down here, what I'm going to do is I'm also going to upload a video for this new user to test. So if I just come to add video and hit send, we get a 400 bad request. And I presume it's because this video file doesn't like this for some reason. So what I'm going to do is just remove this, click select files, home, dev, whoops, not Vappy. Crappy, Postman collections, car.mp4, and then we hit send and it works. So sometimes when we're working with collections or if we're working with information that we get from an engineering team, things aren't always going to work. Some things are going to be broken. You'll sometimes get misinformation. Maybe you won't get as many accounts as you asked for, all sorts of things. And, you know, that's just part of being a security engineer or working in tech in general, is that we have to be able to deal with misinformation or things, sometimes troubleshoot some stuff. So we got our video, we got our 200 OK, and our video is successfully uploaded. And to test this, let's just do the get video. So this is ID 38. And then if we just hover over, we can see the current is ID 38. Hit send, and we do indeed get our video back. Now, what I want to do is I want to test this delete video. So we're just going to test it on ourselves first. So I just hit send. And it kind of gives us a bit of a hint here, although some functionality or API endpoints will give us information as you're testing. But try to access the admin API is, if I move myself out of the way, is quite a big hint for this challenge. So I'm going to come over to delete video by admin. I'm going to click send. And we get an interesting error here. So invalid token. Interesting that it doesn't say that we don't have privileges to do it. It actually says our token is invalid. So I suspect there's something slightly off again with this request or this setup. So what I'm going to do is, instead of troubleshooting this and trying to fix it, I'm just going to pay attention to the URI, and it says here API/v2/admin/videos, and this looks very similar to API/v2/user/videos. So I know that this endpoint works correctly, so I'm just going to type in /admin and hit send, and it says our video is deleted successfully. Now we need to verify this. So we have video 38. If we come back to get video, we're still requesting video 38. We get video not found. Awesome. So we can delete our own video. So let's come back here and we'll double check the ID. So 36 is the one that appeared in Burp Suite. So we'll come back and then we'll do our delete video. So I'm just going to type in 36 and then we're going to hit send. And it says, again, user video deleted successfully. Status 200. Huzzah, we have broken function level authorization. And we should double check this. We should make sure that this actually happened on the user profile. So we come here and we hit refresh. And interestingly, it looks like the video is still there. So what we're actually going to do is front-end frameworks can be quite complicated. There's a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes, especially with caching and all sorts of things that might be keeping stuff alive. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to log out. I'm going to log back in. Come back to the profile, and we can see we have indeed deleted the video. So here we can delete videos of ourselves and of other users. So we have broken function level authorization baffler. So that's it for this module. You've made tremendous progress so far, and I hope you can keep it up until the end of the course and into your continued study beyond. Now that you have the fundamentals down for these vulnerabilities, you should be looking always to expand your knowledge and build on these foundations. A good way to do this is by reading write-ups of real-world attacks and findings. And a good place to start is with Sam Curry's blog. You can access it at samcurry.net. It has a bunch of great write-ups and features vulnerabilities that we've covered so far. I hope you enjoyed this module, and I'll see you in the next one.